So in today's video, we're just going to be talking about the useRef hook. And this useRef hook is just going to be an introduction. I'm not going to go too deep into what references are in React. But what we have here in our project, similar to what was there before. But yeah, we just have a card, and this card has an input field. Please just ignore the styling. What I'll show you has to do with these inputs. I didn't think it was necessary to style it properly. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to comment out this line so the href is not distracting. So that should clear. Okay. So with that being done, we just have this card with an input inside. So another thing I would like to add is a button, right? So right next to the input, I'm going to add a, you know what? I'm going to create a form rather. Let me make it. Uh, we have a form. And inside this form, we have an input, just an input with a type of text, right? We have an input with a type of text, then we have a button, and this button has a type of submit. Okay, I'm not sure if that's correct. Let me check something. Button types HTML. So HTML type attributes. So we have types of, okay, I'm correct. So let's go back to our code, the type of submit. We'll have an on click, and I think I've gone through what the on click function does, and we can do inside a click handler, right? Click handler. So what the useRef is used for is basically Basically, what you can do with the useRef is instead of using state to get the value of what is typed inside the input, you can use the useRef hook instead. That's one of the ways it's being used. And that's what I'm going to be talking about here. So there's an attribute called on submit on forms, and I can put submit handler, and right here, ignore this. Remember the on click. Right here, I can create those two functions. So I have const submit handler is equals to this function. Sorry. So we have this constant submit handler. It's in the wrong place. Okay, and I can do that, and instead here will be quick handler, which is here. So all I'm now going to do next is I'm going to import useRef from React. Okay, with useRef imported from React, I can create two helper constants. I create a const, just one rather, const input ref, and what ref means is reference basically. And this input ref, I can equate it to useRef, calling it. So I'm going to call the useRef function right here. So this reference right here has not yet been hooked up with there's no way this reference and the input is actually like, they're actually communicating. So we have to connect them basically. And how you connect them is through the ref attribute. And the ref attribute is available for all HTML elements. So you can call the ref attribute or put a ref attribute on all HTML elements. So here I can put the input ref, input ref. So with this being done, what I want to do just to show you guys what it is actually. I want to inside the click handler as inside here, I want to console dot log I want to console dot log the input ref just to show you what exactly it is. So if we go back to our projects, okay, I didn't put something. Created the button, then maybe submit. Yeah. So we have this button here that says submit. So when we type inside and we click on this submit, it submits the form. So what we can do here right now is we can, okay, because I don't want the whole page to be refreshed when I submit it. I'm going to prevent the fault. Okay, so yeah. So when I click on this button, the page does not refresh. So what I want to do is show you my developer tools. That is the console. And with the console open, let me refresh. Okay. So now we have nothing this there, but when I type Emeka and I click on submit, you notice that there is an object that is being released, right? And this object has something called value. And right now the value is Emeka. So what this reference is actually they're just giving information about the element. So this current is like the current element that's giving you information about the element and all of that. You can notice that most of them are null because it's just plain. But all these properties or inside the object can be changed. It can be changed. So you know there's mean length, max, and you notice these are all these things are most of them are like attributes can normally change inside. Most of them are attributes that you can usually change inside an HTML element. So what we can now do is right here to now get the actual value. We now have to do input ref dot current and dot value. But the thing is that the, the difference between use ref and use state is that use state if you use unchanged handler, that unchange will be called the unchanged handler will be called every time an input box should change. So it will change every time something is it will be called rather every time something inside this input changes. But yeah, it's this click handler is only called when the button is clicked. So what that means is that when we click on let me refresh and if let me for it to come up. And if I should put a marker inside, we notice that what we get logged is exactly what's inside here. And it's only logs to the console when we submit, not on each keystroke. So let me just show you what I mean. If I should put it on each keystroke. So inside this input, I can put an unchange, right? And I can write here, write change handler. And obviously create a change handler function. So inside here, I'll have a change handler function. And I'm just going to do the exact same thing inside here by getting that. And if we go back here, notice that each time I type in something, it is logged to the console. But the other one, if you are using it on the on click and when I click the button, that's only when it is logged. So let me refresh. So I've refreshed. Then inside here, I'm going to type Emeka. Sorry, let me do that again so as not to cause any confusion. So I'm going to write Emeka. I will notice that each time we type, something is locked to the console because we use an unchanged. Even when I put space bar, it's still going to be locked to the console. So if I write QWERTY, it's still going to be locked to the console. While on the on click, it's only when I click the button that it's locked to the console. So it really helps. It can help with app performance if you use refs instead of use states, right? So another thing we can do is okay, if we return this h1, let's return the h1, and what we type inside here, so inside here, what we now have is input ref dot current dot value. First of all, I honestly don't think anything will happen because of states is not handled. But let's check. Let's refresh. And there are errors. Okay, cannot read properties of undefined. Okay, that's because when we first set it, this stuff here does not exist because there's no input. But if we let me just cut it out for now. Press X, and when I do this, I write hi, and I go back. Obviously, it's come with hi that is beside it. Then if I now change it to input, okay, what I cannot do here is just before the function, just before it, I can create a typed value. Sorry. So inside the quick handler, and then okay, right here I can do const typed value and equate it to all of this. And since that's done, inside here on the quick handler, right? Okay, typed value is equals to, so first of all, type value is undefined, right? Is undefined at first. Then this quick handler might not be needed. So what I will now do is quick handler, this will be needed. So right here I'll now write typed. So I'm just checking things. I'm not sure exactly what will happen. Because as I said at the beginning of this series, I'm learning as much as you are, as well as you are. So I can write, let's write you. Obviously, you to the console, let's submit. Does anything happen? No, nothing happens because of we're not managing state. But if we refresh, hmm, what is the problem? Cannot read properties of undefined. Reading value. Okay, and the reason why it happens is that right here typed value is this, and when we refresh the app, value is undefined. So therefore, this entire line becomes undefined. So that's where the error is from. So yeah, you should just be careful when using use ref and make sure that when you are using it to get the values of an input, that you are sure of what the outcomes will be, so that you don't get that error of undefined. So I just undid all of what I did, so I can go back to this. Notice the animation. I was just messing around with it. So that's the use ref. I personally don't use the React hook, but I think it's something you should use in case you need it for another use case other than handling forms. So yeah, that's been it. Thank you.